Hi, my name is Brooke Lippman,
And I'm Dr. Deb Lippman,
and this is Wine Together.
a podcast where we drink some wine and have a chat.
So sit back, relax, and get that corkscrew ready.
Cheers. I don't know. Where's that wine from? So we're just saying cheers because I don't know.
Dinner.
It is from dinner. You're very good. Very good. It is from dinner.
Italy.
Italy. So ching, ching.
Ching ching.
Okay.
We did Italian Prosecco last week. This is also fizzy.
Yeah, we wanted a fizzy to celebrate September because we have a couple of very special birthdays in this family.
Mm-hmm.
In September. We celebrate August like mad people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we jump right into September and have some pretty special birthdays in September. And then we go a few months without celebrating too much. So it's kind of interesting. We had birthdays in October too, but we celebrate them as honoraries, I guess you might say.
Mm.
Well, no, that's not true because Megan is October, so we'll get her too. But so today we're actually recording on Rinn's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So happy birthday,
Mm-hmm.
Rinn. So salute to you.
Yeah. This is
a
lot
of sweet, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Which he would like.
Mm-hmm. He would very much like this wine, I think.
I think he would, yeah. Maybe we should get some water for it, some sparkling water.
No, I have regular water.
Okay, just kind of chase it. But we want to talk about September. September is so funny because we have to start wearing our jackets in September here. Sometimes sweaters. Yesterday was cold.
Yeah. Well, it got warm in like the afternoon.
Yeah, later. Like I had already gone for my walk and it just, so it was just, so honestly, when I got back from my walk, I thought, am I warm because I just finished this walk or is it getting warmer?
It was just sunny.
It was just a bizarre thing because it was, it started out really cold and rainy that day and then and that's September here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to have cold days and we'll have okay days. We're never getting back up to 30, you guys, not until next June.
I know.
So those days are over. I'm sorry, I said 30. Celsius is, we say our temperature in Celsius. So we're not getting back up in the 80s. We will stay in the upper 60s, low 70s for a few weeks, and then the bottom's going to drop out. So it's good. So I really got to seriously get to work on my closet. Because I'm kind of digging on those cold days. I did keep one pullover out and a couple pairs of leggings, and I've already worn them this week. So so I'm really gonna get serious about digging out. And like 2 days this week, I didn't even get out of my workout clothes. I didn't even bother getting dressed. It's like, because it is what it is. But today we want to celebrate Rinn, so we're so excited. And in a few days, we're going to celebrate Justin. So, big days here because Rinn is 25 today.
Yeah.
Justin's going to be 40. That's just, it is unbelievable. Yeah. I remember celebrating his 16th birthday. Oh my goodness, that was horrendous because that was actually the day of 9/11. So
yeah.
But yeah. So wow. But anyway, yeah, the wine that we're drinking is a spumante. I love a spumante because it has the fizz, like champagne, the bubbles. I love the bubbles. But spumante is usually not quite as sweet as a Moscato.
Yeah, it's not that bad, but it's still pretty.
But it's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's a rosé. This one's a rosé. We had a coupon yesterday, guys. We had to go to dinner because we were looking through the dinner ad yesterday, and there was a coupon for like 40% off a bottle of champagne. So we were like, "Oh, let's go get a bottle of champagne."
And then this one was next to it.
Yeah, and this
for
one was
cheap.
next to it for inexpensive, like 7 francs. So we were just like, "Oh, yeah." Did we hold the bottle up?
I don't know.
So I don't know how you would say this in German, but
Leopardo?
would they say leopardo?
I don't know.
I think in English we'd say leopardo, but leopardo or leopard. No,
I
we
would say
leopard.
leopardo.
Leopardo
Yeah.
is how we'd say it in English, and it's probably leopardo in German or something. I don't know how they say it. In Italian. Yeah,
Leopardo.
they would say bella sera. That's what they would say. El leopardo. There we go. Exactly. And
So good at accents.
You are?
I was making a joke.
Oh, I'm terrible at accents. Absolutely horrendous at accents. And I'm afraid that people think I'm making fun of their culture when I do it. And so I always feel a little bit like after I say it or do something, I feel a little guilty. So I'm really not making fun of. Look, we love Italy. So we do not talk bad about Italians or Italy, except, sometimes we say they're loud, but we're loud too. So I guess we're allowed to say that because we're loud also. But I love going to Italy. I do. But anyway, what goes on in September?
I don't know.
Well, I do know we always celebrate a fun little thing. Well, maybe we leave you out of this. I don't know.
What?
But on September 21st, do you remember?
Yeah.
The 21st night of September. Yeah, we play the song, we dance, and we
have to listen
send it to Rinn. So I wonder why, we have these songs with September. Why is that?
I don't know. September is just like, it's when it is the most like well-known time that the season changes.
Absolutely.
You don't really think about like March or June as much, but you think of September as when things are changing because that's when school starts.
Yeah, school starts, and I will say I loved the start of the school year. I will say some of our better hikes have been in September here. The waterfalls are this is when the cows come down, Brooke.
Yeah.
And we're going tomorrow to see the cows come in. So we've got, so even though this is not going to drop until Sunday, we're recording on September 3rd. Rinn's birthday. Happy birthday, Rinn, again. We have our town. But anyway, so I keep trying to get to Kazatog because Kazatog is like cheese day. And so,
well, it is literally cheese day.
It does translate to cheese day. And so the first time Brooke and I went to a Kazatog, do you remember? So Brooke was still in high school. And so we had gone to take Mason back your dad was taking Mason back to the airport. So we got up that morning and we went to the train station with them. And we thought, oh, well, we'll just walk into Soliterne since we were right there. Because at that point, we're still loving to go into Soliterne almost every day. We would walk in. And so we went in that day and there was these little huts set up and there was this long line of tables where crafts and stuff were being sold. And we thought, well, what is going on? And one of the girls said, it's Kazatog. And I thought, what? What's that? And she said, it's cheese day. And she was so nice, so very nice. And then she gave us a taste of her fondue. And her fondue was made with sauerkraut. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
Excuse me. It was so good. And so, we walked through town. We probably went to Soteria because we would go there a lot to get a sandwich or something or coffee. And then it wasn't, okay, so we started wandering around to the booths, I remember. And then that's when you got to milk the cow. Do you remember? And then the alpacas, and you fell in love with the alpacas. And we were just like walking around. We were seeing cows in places. And so there was so much going on. And it was our first experience with that. And I thought, I never want to miss a quesadilla. I mean, it was just wonderful. And even though we did not participate, this was pre-COVID. So there's this one alley that goes from that statue at just beyond Forstadt. There's that statue, and there's an alley that kind of snakes around, and there were tables set up end to end to end in that alley. And people would pay like 10 francs or whatever, and you get a seat at the table. And they would bring raclette and fondue around. So you're like sharing this meal. And I will not do that. And this was pre-COVID, and I wouldn't have done it then. I'm 100% not doing that now. Just saying. But, and like last year, I didn't see the table set up end to end, but I didn't know that's coming.
Last year.
I think I just walked through in the early part.
No, you weren't here
I wasn't here last year. Thank you for reminding me that. I was not here last year. So the year before, the tables still were not set up. Because I did go then because you were in the U.S. Last year, I was in the U.S. Yes, and the year before that, you were in the U.S. for your senior year. And so they didn't have the long table set up. But you were taking classes in town.
Yeah.
And so tell me what it was like last year. What'd you do?
I walked in and I got overwhelmed and I left. I video called you.
Yeah. Okay.
So I couldn't do anything anyway because I mean, you know, I didn't have any money.
Yeah. I know the crafts, you know, there's these people that sell the crafts, and then there's the cheese. You can buy a bag of cheese. I don't know. Have we bought a bag? I was thinking one year we did buy a bag of cheese.
I don't know.
But it was so expensive. So we usually get our fondue cheese from either Coke or Migros.
It's still expensive there.
It's still expensive. We've gotten some from dinner. But yeah, fondue and raclette cheese are expensive. But, you know, it's not like we do that every week. We do it.
I wish we did.
We'll do fondue more now
every week.
Here. We won't do it every week. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, Dad does all the work, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, we just do the cleanup. And the cleanup to me is a lot of work, especially with raclette. And the prep for raclette is a lot of work because I really do it up. I have fresh cut veggies. Sometimes I'll do mini burgers or, you know, I'll cook the potatoes. So raclette is a big, big deal. It's almost like a feast. And so it is a lot of hard work. And then the cleanup for raclette is really hard. But fondue is not that bad. It's a little bit of prep work because we do have either an apple or a pear that we cut up into small pieces. We have our bread that we cut up into small pieces, and then your dad melts the cheese, and we drink lots of wine because it's perfect. The white wine is always so perfect with raclette and fondue. The white wine's near here, so you know, always really good. But yeah. So I like September because it is the beginning of kind of cheese season, and which ends in April, by the way. So we eat a lot of cheese between September and April, but it's always so good. And a lot of times we will have guests when we do either raclette or fondue. We've had a Christmas party one year where your dad's group came over for the holiday celebration. I don't want to say Christmas, holiday celebration. And we did raclette. And so, you know, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, it's a feast. It's fun. So September, you know, is the beginning of some good festivals. A lot of good festivals. And a lot of the boats, their last kind of hoorah is in late September. So that's kind of sad. And I don't remember if when we went to the ice cave at Jungfrau, was that September or
it was September.
End of September,
our first year here.
Yeah, so end of September, because you can't that also end of September I think is the last train that runs up there. So you kind of have to kind of get that in unless you're going to hike up, which you might hike up. But yeah, so yeah, Jungfrau is a lot of fun.
Would it be cheaper for us to go up there now that we all have the GA?
Yes, we still have to buy that ticket, but that ticket up is half price with the GA.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And so, yeah.
So we might be able to go.
Yeah. Yeah, so, you know, September's a lot of fun around here. I mean, I love all the festivals because we just went to one. One of our favorites, the street food festival. Oh my goodness, Brooke and I might have had a little too much to eat and drink that night.
I don't even think we did.
You think it was
too much.
There was a dirty tap or something?
Yeah, we got
the next
sick,
day.
but it couldn't have been from the food because Dad didn't get sick.
Mm-mm.
Well, not that he would have said anything if he did.
Right, he wouldn't have said anything.
But I still don't think it was that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. It was really weird.
I really, when I woke up the next day, I will say this. I woke up at 4 a.m. with a cramp in my leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that I had not been drinking enough water the few days before. So I know I had gotten dehydrated. Yeah. And then we had that hike planned. Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't supposed to be, that big of a deal of a hike. It was mostly that we were starting close to the top and working our way down to the boat because we're going to do a hike, a boat ride, then go to his friend's house for a grill party. And so we just didn't get going on time that morning. I felt like, am I sluggish? But I was ready on time.
Yeah.
But, we did see the bus pass before. And so we slowed down our walk to the bus and we get there and he's still there. And we thought if we just kept up our pace, we'd gotten on the bus on time. So anyway, missed the bus. Had to wait, 20 minutes or so for another one. Mm-hmm. And so it just threw our whole schedule behind. So it was just quite a, anyway. But then, checking in on you, you weren't feeling well, but you did get your laundry done.
Yeah.
So, you got your
I don't think you checked in on me at all.
Did I not?
No, you did not.
Sorry. I did at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, but not really.
That was everybody checking on all the kids.
I watched a football game. I could barely move. I almost couldn't eat. And then I couldn't even make coffee until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And yeah, okay, I was a little hungover, but I know that what made me sick, my stomach issues, was not from drinking.
Well, I didn't think mine was either, but I wasn't sure, so I was blaming it on that.
So I was thinking it was a dirty tap because, that could still be food poisoning and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Technically, it's still food poisoning.
Yeah, and you can imagine at those festivals that last 3 days long outside, we don't know how.
Yeah, and so it was oh my gosh, I sat in the bathroom for way too long. I genuinely, I thought I was going to throw up. I didn't. But I took 2 baths because my stomach was hurting so bad. I did eventually eat one of those frozen chicken burgers, which had a piece of bone in it.
Oh my goodness, I ate the last one yesterday.
Okay, good. But yeah, no, the last couple from that box, I had a couple that had bones in them.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Ooh. And apparently didn't put me off eating them.
Yeah, I was so hungry last night. I was like, I'm eating that chicken burger.
They're pretty good.
But I had a salad for lunch, but usually that's enough. But evidently,
yeah. For a last minute, they're not bad.
Yeah, and it was a last minute decision for me last night. I thought, that's just what I'm gonna cook and eat.
But yeah, I don't know. I was so sick on Sunday. I somehow I got my laundry done and I put it away and all that, but it did get really hot in the apartment because of the sun. Mm-hmm. So I had to close the blinds and all that. Oh gosh, it was terrible. But I watched 2 football games on Sunday. That was fun.
You know what? One thing that reminds me, well, at least you got to do that. Mm-hmm. Did the team you wanted to win?
So the men's team won, but the women's team tied.
Well, that's so better than
but we would have hoped for a win at the beginning of the season because it was the women's team's first game.
Those points.
Yeah, it was
the points early.
It was the women's team's first game of the season. The men's team, it was their 3rd game of the season. They're going into international break this week and they have 9 of 9 points. So that's good.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
I know they're way ahead of Barcelona already.
Wow.
Yeah, because Barcelona dropped points the other day because they tied. So.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, I was talking about all the festivals that, start in September, and it kind of just goes through the end of the year, kind of culminating with, the Christmas markets, the European Christmas markets. Mm-hmm. But also, I remember growing up in the small town that I grew up in, there was always the county fair in September.
That's a common thing
And
in the U.S.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I love to eat fair food. I love all that deep fried stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to say the CRAP word, but growing up, that was, I loved it. And I loved the live animals. And, I would also ride some of the rides, even though I didn't want y'all riding the rides when y'all were little. But, by that time I had learned, but anyway, I had to tell you the story. So, my sister had to go to the doctor while I was still in the U.S. recently, and I was going to be spending the night with her like the day after. So we meet her for dinner that Friday evening. She'd gone to the doctor on Thursday. We meet her for dinner, and then when we get back to her house, she was like, "Do you remember somebody that lived out there, but lived out there near Cal?" I said, "Well, Mom's best friend lived out there." And I said, she had 2 sons, and one ended up becoming a sheriff deputy. And she said, no, not them. They lived across the street from there. She said, but I think her mom's name was too. She said, I keep thinking it's something. Anyway, I kept thinking, well, I thought there was a brother named, but it turns out that was actually their last name, was Gary. And the girl was, it did start with a T, but it wasn't Tammy. So anyway, later in the evening, I had gone up to, I was doing laundry at Angie's. I'd gone to change out my laundry, and I come back to the conversation, and I just scream out her name. And Angie's like, oh, yeah, that was her name. And I said, don't you remember? One year, she ran off with the people from the county fair. And that was always my parents' biggest fear when I was a teenager. They would not let me go to the county fair by myself because they thought I was going to leave with some guy from the county fair and just never come back. And this was something, my grandparents were in on this conspiracy. My parents were in on it. I mean, it was just so funny. When I was in high school, I couldn't go to the fair like with just my friends. And a lot of people in my high school, that's what we did. We went as with friends. I had to go to make sure one of my parents was with me. I could never, ever go with just my friends. Now, my sister could. My sister was allowed, but I wasn't allowed. My brother was allowed. I was not allowed to go. And what bothers me is that girl was my age. And so, and this, of course, was before she took off with the people from the fair. But that was always a thing after that happened. We always talked about her and how she left and joined the circus, basically. Is kind of what we said, but yeah, she left with a guy, and I think they get married, and
I remember going to the state fair.
Yes, you went to the state fair, and you went with a friend, but you went with your friend's parents.
Well, we also went a couple times.
Yeah, we went as family. Yeah. But I'm telling you, and I'm gonna. Should we just? That is a lot of fun. It goes on for about 10 days, and it's a lot like what we call the messer. Yeah, the Hiso Herbstfest, basically. It's 10 days. It's like a county fair.
Yeah.
And good food. And you have to stand in line for a Berliner.
Yeah. It actually goes faster than I thought it would.
Were you at the back of the line when you and Dad first got in?
I don't think we were actually, though. I don't think we were that long.
We got in, I think that we were probably close to the back of the line. And that is a line. It's almost like the line to Space Mountain, if anybody's ever experienced that. And they're making these homemade, so a Berliner, if you don't know, is like a jelly-filled donut or a filled donut. The ones you have are that you're going to eat later.
Well, a Berliner,
it's a donut.
A typical Berliner is a donut with raspberry jelly. That is what a Berliner is.
Berliner.
That is what a Berliner is.
And so,
but there are variations where, like, some people are like, "Oh, it's a cream-filled Berliner," when it's not really, because it's not a raspberry jam-filled donut.
So these are deep fried right in front of you, and then they fill it with the jam right in front of you, and it's just so much fun. And people will be in that line, and they'll order 20, 40, 80 Berliners.
Oh my God.
I've been in line behind somebody that ordered 80. Well, guess what? They can't get 80 made at a time. So that person,
No.
they can do, I think, maybe
it's-
40 at a time.
I think it's 20 at a time.
20 at a time. And so, I mean, they're making these so fast and they're selling them as fast as they can make them. Well, it's so funny because our first time experiencing this queue for the Berliner, your dad and I are in line and we're watching everything that's going on and we're just so amazed by it. We're listening to these people order all this stuff in front of us. And then we get up there and your dad says, "Zweimal bitte." And they said, "Entschuldige?" He said, "Zweimal." And they're like, "Only two?" And it was so funny. I thought, we do look like idiots. People ordering 20, 40, 80 at a time, and we order one each.
Yeah.
But, we had already had, there's a restaurant that sets up there for those 10 days, and they have that Solothurner wine soup, and it's so good. So we had already had, the soup, and we thought, okay, well, we're going to get in line for Berliners, and so, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. And those are magnificent. Magnificent donuts.
They're really good.
So, very, very good. So I'm looking forward to that in September. There's so much to look forward to.
That's in October.
Nope, it's September.
Pretty sure it's in October.
Nope.
Is it? Maybe it's the beginning of October?
It's the 19th through the 29th.
Oh,
this year.
Last year it was in October.
It may have been, but
that's like when Oktoberfest starts. Why would they do it at the same time?
Because Oktoberfest in Germany is in September, but in Solothurn it's in October.
No, they do it in September here.
Not in Solothurn. In Solothurn, they have the tent during October. It's like for 2 weeks in October, and the tables are so expensive. I don't know if we'll get there this year because the tables are like 250 francs.
Maybe I should have told Dad I want to go to Germany for Oktoberfest.
Might not be too late if you would say something tonight.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say something tonight.
But I'd rather that be something we all go to, but I don't know if you would go with.
Let that be the first time. Let it be just the two of you. Then y'all can have a reason to go back because you can say, "Oh, Mom's going to love this."
Yeah.
So we got to bring Mom back.
Okay.
That's the way you play it.
Yeah.
And I love it because but it's I think that would be fun. You really should say something to him tonight. Say, what are the chances?
Probably 0 because we'd have to pay to get into Oktoberfest. That's already expensive and like.
Y'all might just find a beer garden that has because the thing is you're going to want the pretzels and well, you're not going to want the sausage. But Dad might want one of the sausage.
I like sausage, but I don't know. It depends on.
Well,
no, I didn't like the white
one. Chicken one. I like the white one.
I don't know what it was that I don't like about it. I keep trying it as if I'm gonna like it every time I try it, but I never like it.
Yeah, not even with that sweet mustard.
No,
oh my
but the mustard was really.
What
was it that I put the mustard on that you were like, that's disgusting?
Maybe your chicken burger. I don't know.
No, it was something that you were like, oh, that's gross. Why would you do it? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe an apple.
No, it wasn't like fruit or anything. It was something like. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't meat. I don't think.
Okay, I really don't remember. I just hope it wasn't a caramel milkshake.
Ew.
Yeah.
No. I don't remember what it was, but it was really, really good.
Yeah, well, September here is great. September, I honestly have. Oh gosh, am I trying to remember how bad September? I can't. I'm looking back on my 59 Septembers. Oh no, this year.
It's your 60th.
It's my 60th September. Let's celebrate that too. So I have just entered 60 Septembers. So yeah. So this is my 60th September. Yep. And I will say I cannot remember a bad one.
Okay.
I love the fairs. I love football starting and,
yeah.
Mason's hockey.
Both kinds of football because football started at the end of August and then now you've got gridiron football.
Exactly.
See, I was thinking about this. I was like, I don't like saying American football because that's what they
call it here.
Yes, but they play football like soccer in the U.S. In the U.S., it's called gridiron football.
Okay.
Because they've got the helmets. I'm pretty sure that's why it's called gridiron football.
No, I would think it's because the field looks like it has grids on it.
Maybe. That's probably actually it. But yeah, it's actually gridiron football is what it is because then we can say football for soccer and not feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Plus, didn't Trump say he was going to put an executive order to call it football?
Start calling it football. There we go. So
The one, like, non-issue thing he's done. That's fine.
you know, I had nothing to say about it.
Right.
But September is always wonderful to me. I love when the temperatures start to get cooler. But you know what? I've noticed that since in my 60 Septembers, my early ones,
Yep.
up until, I don't know, my 20 somethings, I always remember it getting cooler in September. I remember wearing those pullover sweaters or those cardigan sweaters to the county fair. In fact, when I was in high school and I was working, that was my excuse to go buy a new sweater. I want a new sweater for the fair.
Okay.
And so I would get one. But I remember wearing sweaters. So it must have been somewhat cool in the evenings at our county fair. But now, September there, whew,
I know.
it's still summer. I mean, people are still out on Hyrock Lake and having a great time. And, you know, which I don't blame you. Look, if I were there, I'd be out on that lake with you guys. I love being out on Hyrock Lake. So fun stuff. But, you know, yeah, football starts. You know, for me, it was volleyball was starting. I think, I don't remember if girls tennis is in the fall in high school sports in North Carolina. Because I think it's girls tennis in the fall and men's tennis or the spring, but it might be backwards. I might have that backwards. But yeah, there's volleyball, there's cross country, so much happening, you know, in the schools and stuff in the U.S. And then here we've got all these festivals and the weather cooling down and you know, some of my favorite hiking. Okay, mainly because I started this and didn't finish it. And we'll finish up with this. I really want to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay.
The cows come in. I know I said it, but we didn't elaborate on it.
Okay.
So there's a parade tomorrow, and I'm going to try to capture some video.
Okay.
The cows are kind of coming down from the Alps, and so most of the little towns have a celebration like this. In our town, or not in our town, but in our canton, it is called Kazetag. This is when they bring the cows in. And then the cows get all dressed up and we have a parade for them. And some of the cows have the bells on, but a lot of the bells are being carried by the people. And it's like they have these huge bells and they're playing kind of songs with them. So, I mean, I've experienced this parade with you a couple times.
Yeah.
What do you think of the parade and the cows coming in?
I think it's fun.
That's
I mean, there's not much to say about it.
Well, you know, it's okay. I'm glad that you said what you said.
Okay.
Because y'all, I don't know if this is a rumor or if it's actually true, but I read it in an article, like in a magazine article, like a blog or something. So I'm going with the fact that this is probably true. But there was a lady from the U.S. that had moved here to Switzerland, and she had gotten all her permits in the timely, you know, she had learned German and was trying to apply for citizenship in Switzerland after she had been here, 10 years or so?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, all her neighbors testified against her and said, no, she doesn't respect our culture. And it's because several times in that 10 years, during this time, during September, she would write and complain to large branches of government, not just Swiss government. She made her opinion well known, even in American culture, that she thought this was animal abuse, making these cows walk around with these big bells.
No.
Anyway, she did not get her citizenship.
Yeah, she doesn't deserve it at that point.
And they were saying she doesn't appreciate the culture, but this was one of the things she did about that. She also evidently talked really bad about, you know, the neighbors and, you know, made complaints to the police a lot and just kind of brought a lot of attention to herself. And they, you know, no wonder they think all Americans are like that because, you know, this is an experience that they've actually had with an American, but we're not all like that. And I think our neighbors are going to say good things to us about us, which is why we've got to start helping them. walk the dog, and whatever we need to see what we can do to help her, because we've got a few years, but yeah, we got to get in good graces, learn our German, and be good Swiss citizens. So, and we try, we really do. Well, your dad and I have certainly embraced the hiking culture.
I like hiking. I just want to get other stuff done on Sundays.
Yeah, well, we don't have to go on Sundays now that you've got a GA. You and I can do some small hikes. I saw one the other day. I was like, oh, I gotta get Brooke on this hike.
Okay.
It was really nice. So I'm really hoping that, we can do a couple hikes. But anyway, we're going to end this one because we're already into the 40 minutes, but you got some you can cut out. We hope you've enjoyed listening.
We'll be back next week with a new bottle of wine and a new topic. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky at Wine Together Pod. Join our Facebook group, Wine Together Podcast. And if you don't want to miss out on our regular weekly episodes along with all our bonus content, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts, as well as liking, subscribing, and commenting on our YouTube, Wine Together Podcast.
Yes, subscribe.